Very good morning to one and all, and thank you so much for inviting me to deliver my keynote speaker for this conference. I indeed a privilege and honored to be part of this conference. And before I start, thank you for the introduction. And I am originally from India, and last 8 years I am working in South Africa. So today I am going to talk about a clear strategy, which can bring the university industry gap closer into the South Africa. By the way, currently we are in South Africa sitting at almost -1 temperature. It's just very cold, and early morning it's almost 5 a.m. So we have a huge time difference between the Indonesia and South Africa. But nevertheless, I believe that learning is a continuous process, and it can be happen any time of the day. And based on this philosophy, I thought let me join this conference and be part of the keynote speaker. So South Africa is considered as a developing country. We still have many issues and problems such as the economical, political and social challenges. But apart from that, we have some of the elements which consider as a developed nation. So before I start my presentation, let me give you some sort of geographical environment of South Africa. We do have a black population. Also, we have a huge of the white population. Many of the people from India and other Asian countries. So it's like a rainbow nation. You will find people are working from all over the globe. People from other countries, they are also working in South Africa. So in terms of infrastructure, we do have a first class, a first world country infrastructure, which is not less than other developed countries. And we also have a sound, foreign exchange in terms of our currency is also higher compared to, India and other countries. So now today I decided to, discuss about industry and university gap. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, and this is none other than our freedom fighter Nelson Mandela. And he did so much in terms of to freedom fighter for this country. These are some of my observations, is that currently there is a wide gap between the acquired knowledge and required knowledge. These two sentences I would like to emphasize more. The students learned in university are somehow not exactly matched with the requirement of the industry. So we need to understand what are the industry requirements. They need a soft skill of the students. They need to understand the market of the they don't need someone who only can work on a theoretical background. Nowadays industry, and because of the 21st century globalization, as we know, the entire world become a small village. If you are in Indonesia or if you are in Japan, place does not actually matter, but how skilled and talented you are. You can do a multinational business sitting in anywhere in the world. So nowadays we need a people who learn a technology, who learn a smart device, so that people now need someone who are a multi-talented people who can perform marketing also, who can perform with international technology also. And that's the requirement of the industry nowadays. In educational institute emphasize theory and equip students with the theoretical input, the knowledge which is far from the expectation from the employees. And that's what we use the word recession. There is no job in the market, but somehow I would say that there are the job in the market, but we as a student need to think, are we really employable? Do we have a skill, talent, qualities which is required by the industry people, and that's why there is a gap between the university education and the requirement by the industry people. So based on my research and some of the article, I find out these are the strategies we may use to bring this gap closer. And as we know, the country like Indonesia and the country like India, even the South Africa, we need to promote entrepreneurship education, because the entrepreneurship is the key success for the GDP and growth of the nation. So what I advise the students as well as the future generation, do not look for the job, but try to establish your own small family business. Try to start something your own and become an entrepreneur, and that's why you can contribute to the economical and the societal growth. So we also need to emphasize about entrepreneurship opportunities. What are the issues and challenges faced by the people if they start a business? We must support our local community, a small vendor, and they people are really need your support, and small your contribution can make a huge difference to the society and someone's life. So based on my observation, set a realistic goal, encourage industry people to come and visit you, create a strong alumni network. That is very important. You should create a strong alumni network, and your student will also evolve, will also help you to get a job from your other students. Provide a student a practical based learning instead of theoretical. Practical learning is most important, and innovation is the key success. Try to be innovative, try to do things different. Then I must tell that think out of the box approach. Do not do or repeat things. Try to make an innovation in your thinking. Try to make a differentiate in your ways of doing the things. The ensure smooth communication and coordination between the academic and industry. Currently, I am lecturing to the undergraduate and postgraduate students, and what I found that students somehow don't have a soft skill such as a body language, communication, personality. So those skills are required by industry nowadays. Negotiation skill, as well as business writing skill, telephonic etiquettes. These all are now required into the industry of the 21st century. Apart from the teaching, where the educator and the industry expert impact the knowledge in the classroom, that is also very important. You can invite the expert of the industry at your classroom and let them teach to the students, give them a practical knowledge how industry does work. What about the supply chain? What about the inventory management? What about the various stakeholder relationship in the market? These all are now very, very essential nowadays. So I advise, do not worry only of the passing the examination and get a distinction. That will never help you. Your degree is just a piece of paper, but how smart and intelligent candidate you are, that will be the depend on your success of your tomorrow future. And always think positive. Nothing is impossible. Everything is possible, but you just need to a smart work. You just need to do the things properly. Academic must take input from the industry to create a curriculum. That is most important. When you design your curriculum, you should involve people from the industry to give you a valuable input, and based on the suggestion, you should implement some of the into your teaching and learning curriculum. These are the model which you can consider as a student role, academic and industry role. So as a student, your responsibility is to learn a technical skill, a thinking ability, understand the dynamic of the system. By preparing a project, high talent individual and innovative idea, this goes to the student side. We as an academic, what we supposed to do is to engage an industry professional, research in the industry, student counseling, collaborative work, policy constraint, and what about the role of industry? The role of industry is to corporate training, support and finance the project. Industry license. If we work on this criteria, and then definitely, we can work together as a student, as an academic, and as an industry. And if we three hold the hands together, and we can achieve everything, because nowadays we need to support a made in our own country product, like a made in China, made in India, made in Russia. Because nowadays you see of COVID-19, last 2 years the pandemic has changed the world of the business, and most of the business now facing a financial problem. They have a recession, they don't have a money to start the new venture, and that's the reason is that we need to support a product which is made in our own country, and so that we can upliftment of our growth, upliftment of our nation, and we can try to achieve a United Nations 27 goal. Remember, we have a goal set by United Nations, and that's what we do. Now, each and every university, whether you are a bachelor student or if you are a master student, this is the very important independent learning. We call it as an online learning. You can learn from the YouTube, you can learn from the magazine, you can learn from the library, you can learn from the research project. You don't need anyone to help you. Then a collaborative learning. You and some other colleagues can sit together and exchange the knowledge. What you have, you can share with his or her, and what she has, they can give the knowledge to you. So collaborative learning is a very important nowadays to share it's like a teamwork. Teamwork is together everyone achieve more. That is the TEAM. T for together, E for everyone, A for achieve, and M for more. So nowadays, we need to emphasize on a teamwork. We need to, emphasize on supporting each other. Now, cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is all about, to develop a societal problem. Like I said, in South Africa, we need to also support our community, and as an academic, we have a community engagement project. What is actually community engagement project? We can go to some of the orphan age, or we can go to some of the villages where we can teach our small pupils, small students. We can also take part into the some of the municipality workshop seminar. So our university want us not only to limit it to the academic environment, but go to the real market and meet the people of the society. Look at his issues and problem, and based on the knowledge, how impact you can make on someone else's life. That university also want us, instead of sitting into our offices, they also need to go to the industry people and interact with the industry people. A practical learning, that's the key success element into the 21st century. We call as a practical learning. Let me give you an example. You cannot learn how to ride a car. You cannot learn a driving while reading thousands of the book. You need to learn actually on the car. So practical learning, you cannot learn while reading or writing until and unless you go to actually at industry, until and unless you can learn. And practical learning is the 21st century currency. It's not the currency, the money you have, but how knowledge you have. That is the currency nowadays. And if you are a well-educated people, if you are a well-educated person, then that is your real wealth, your real currency. And last but not least is a work integrated learning. WIL, work integrated learning. You need to learn what is your requirement of your work. So in this plenary session, I am sure there are the many students with us, there are the many professors, lecturers, and industry people are with us. They should think on these 5 elements of learning, starting with independent learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning, practical learning, and work integrated learning. So based on my today's talk, let me go to the conclusion. What I think is, what I feel is all about. Building a trained and talented human power is the key of South African economy. As I said, South Africa is a developing nation and we have many issues and challenges. It's not only South Africa, but each and every country has their own issues and challenges. Look at the Ukraine and Russia war. Look at the, many other parts of the world now are facing the problems. Problems are economical, problems are monetary. Look at the condition of the Sri Lanka. We are now watching in the news, So there is an urgent need to develop a human capital in South Africa. No country can progress without the development of its human capital. Educational institutes are the backbone of any country as they produce a healthy citizen and the leader for the union. That's the very true. Academic institutes, are the backbone of the success of any countries, and education, is the very important. We must take a good education, and if we have a good education, we can change our country, we can change our future direction. So conclude an integrated efforts from all the stakeholders, including educators, students, parents, educational institute, all are required non-profit organization to bridge academic and industry closer. Before I come to conclusion, in South Africa we have a very good natural resources, gems and jewelries, very good ocean. So in terms of natural resources, God has given us a beautiful like a cities called Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, and many more. So anyone of the students would like to come for a further education, mostly postdoctoral research after a PhD, they are welcome to contact to me and I will be happy to help them. Because for Asian citizens, there are the many opportunities for the postdoctoral research, and you are welcome to contact to me. I will be happy to help you. With this note, I indeed proud to be a part of this conference, and I hope my plenary session, my keynote speaker does make some value addition. And now we take some question and answer. Thank you so much. I appreciate.